It's Odd Podular. Welcome back, folks. Thank you for joining us for episode 56. It is Friday, November 21st. Happy Soundtribe Day. Happy album release day. We're here to get you fully prepped. The 2-night run at the Bellwether. After some announcements, we'll be talking all things Human Dream, fully breaking down the new record, talking about some of our favorite live moments. Before we get into it, Mr. Scotty Fuller, welcome to the Full, baby. We're back.
We are back, but we never left because we've been together for a lot of the past week.
I know.
How
I'm
you
getting
feeling,
sick
buddy?
of you.
I
Feeling
know,
good.
man.
I could never
I
be
was
sick
about
of
to
you,
say
buddy.
that's not true. I fucking miss you already. We had a good wholesome weekend with the boys last weekend, brother. How you recovering? We had to push a little bit because your voice left you. I still want to do a podcast with your broken voice, but I took pity on you because you also had some flight issues as well.
Well,
So
well, let's do it because of me losing my voice at a Soundtribe show. How about that? Instead of laughing at bits from Hunter Booth, how about that? I think it
that's
was
that's fair.
mostly the belly laughing, but yeah, man, Costa Rica, never been that close to the equator. But what a good time, and congrats again to our dear friend Hunter Booth. Can't wait to celebrate him and Angela coming up with their wedding next year. But let's get into it, man. Big day for Soundtribe, but before we get into that, we got a friend of the program type announcement here, right? We had some new
Yeah.
music, right?
Yeah, our good friend Audio Angel, who checks in with us almost weekly. She's a guest and a listener of the show. When she came on, she played us the first single off of her album Snapshot that was not yet out, but now it's out. It's on Bandcamp. It has dropped. It's Audio Angel and Her Good Intentions. That is on Bandcamp right now. You search Audio Angel, and it's the first thing that pops up. I got a suggested price of 11.11. So show our girl some love, man. A little 5-track banger, and it's a great project. I highly recommend everybody check it out. You heard that the Oysters testimony on our episode, and then we got four more that you haven't heard. So highly recommend that. Shout out to Audio Angel for always being a supporter of the show.
Yeah, super experimental project here. It's just like I love stuff that's new to your eardrums, right? And
Yes.
a lot of that stuff is just kind of stuff you've never heard before and very unique and really awesome to hear from our dear friend. But um, man, what a week for music here, right, Scotty? Happy
Yes.
Human Dream release day, man.
Happy Human Dream Release Day. And one thing, and I did this last year, and what blessed to be able to do it again. Happy birthday to my son Jay. It is the 21st. His birthday is the 22nd. He's gonna be 2. That's my whole world. That's the reason I do anything, is so he thinks I'm cool. So happy birthday to my son as well.
I gotta say, he's a big part of my motivation too, to be cool, be the best version of myself.
I
So
mean,
shout out.
you're Uncle Nate, man. You gotta be something to somebody, right?
Hell yes. So Scotty, we knew after the second EP we had 7 songs remaining. We knew we were gonna have a 19 song album here, right? Then we got the release of Balancing of a studio single. So that left us with 6 to go, right? So it was a little bit of a mystery of what we were gonna get, right? And to list them off, we got that track to start, Reminisce. Holy cow, man.
Yeah.
It it's funny with the timing of like having Dom on. Like that song brings me back to like late 2000s, like Jamtronica, like Elliot Lip almost type stuff. Like, um,
Yeah.
and I know it's only a minute and 50 seconds, but like, man, I really see that as something that could be stretched out. It reminds me of Just Thanks right off the bat, kind of that kind of vibe. Yeah, your thoughts on that one first to start since we opened with it.
I mean, there's almost this kind of genre forming with with this song a little bit with Peachtree and with Portal. It's like smoky jazz hall STS9,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
smells like cigar in a bourbon with an ice cube in it,
Mm.
um I'm all about that shit. Obviously, Alana is a big jazz nerd, and that's one of the things we love about her is, she can go there. And that seems to be this seems to be the first time that we're seeing that transfer in the studio through that handful of songs that we're seeing, and kind of like we talked about with the modular finally really finding a place in the studio work. It's nice, it's cool to see those identities put down on wax.
Yes, can't wait for Wax. By the way, that song is gonna sound really good on vinyl with a nice glass of Weller. I'll have to try that for sure. So yeah, we got that as the new track that we hadn't heard yet. And then some familiar ones that I think that we could have figured would have been on here, right? With Big Basin and Menacer. And then we get another Rave Spell track in Never Never with its roots tying back to the Ravine on 12/30/2019. And then another Rave Spell track in Lift You Up, right? And then rounding things out, I think this was the big surprise with Presence of Light. This is a
For
song
multiple
that,
reasons.
yeah, this is a song that had kind of been missing a little bit from set lists quite a bit in the last few years, and kind of popped back up out of nowhere. And I know it's a song that wasn't received well when it was started to play a whole lot back when they debuted it. But man, like if you haven't given this studio version a spin yet, completely reworked and super dope, and a really fresh spin on it. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I'll just break the fourth wall and kind of take the people behind our conversation the last 48 hours. The band posted basically the whole set list before they dropped the album. And we see Presence of Lights on there. And admittedly, I wasn't pumped. That is a song that I felt like it just never got me there, and I could never put my finger on why, because there's certain parts of it that I really like. And I even texted you about it, kind of speaking those sentiments. And then 24 hours, man, I ate a whole bunch of shit because this Presence of Light is stellar. I it's probably top three songs on the album in its form now. And I'm able to figure out what I had a problem with it before. It was just too long before. There's a lot of kind of open space that doesn't need to be there. And when you shrink this thing into like the same length as like, a Baraka, and you get all of the blissful parts in it, and you cut out kind of the fat that makes it an 11 and 12-minute song in a live setting. I think this song belongs almost exactly the way that it is in the studio.
Hmm.
A la This Us, or some of those songs that are so good that they don't really need more put on them. I think now that we have a studio version of this Presence of Light, if this song stays like it is on the album, man, I think it very quickly becomes a really nice treat and maybe kind of one of those tear jerkers in the right moment.
Yeah, I think it like if in this form, it's going to serve a definite purpose within a set list for sure. So I'm excited to see what they do with it and to see it pop up in this fashion in some of the live shows. And we know, boy, do we got a lot of them coming up to see how they kind of play around with it and stick it in with the rest of the catalog here. But Scotty, you posed a great exercise here. Let's rank our favorites let's start at six and go to our favorite of the six freshly released studio recordings. So I'll let you go first, my friend.
All right, so at six, I'm going Never Never. Um, this this song is fine, and there are some good versions of it. Um, I to me, it just nothing about it was too different than I expected, and I don't know. This is one that I could do without. So Never Never's my six on that.
Right? Five for you. Let's just go down the line on all of us.
All right, cool. Five for me is Lift You Up. I like this. I like this song a lot in a live setting, but this is more because of the songs that I like more than it than the fact that I do or don't like Lift You Up.
Oh yeah, I think all these are for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
it's a really solid song, but of the rest that we have, that's just where it landed for me. Number four is Big Basin. They stuck the fuck out of the landing on this for the studio version. I think it sounds great. But the to me the top three are very, very clear, honestly.
Okay.
You've got for me, the only reason that I put this one at third is because of the novelty of where I have of number two. This Minister studio recording is awesome.
Yeah, it's
It
really
is
cool.
it is awesome. Just it man, just the stuff they added to it. I am such a fan of the way they stuck the landing on this one in the studio. My number two is Reminisce. Just because it's the only song we hadn't heard at this point, and it's really good. And so that's great. And then for me, number one is Presence of Light. Um, my biggest 180 maybe ever. In terms of where I started with this song to now, but this song is beautiful in a studio setting.
I respect the hell out of that list, and I think it's very fun that our lists are very different. So I'm gonna start number
Word?
six.
Okay.
And again, the prefacing this, I'm stoked about like how all these sound live for sure. One's got to be six, one's got to be one for me, right? Honestly, for me, six is Big Basin. Um,
Ah,
I've been one of the big proponents of this track live, and have brought a lot of people along on it with some of the versions that we played, some of the versions that I've seen them play with my friends, where they start playing it, and it's like and I'm like, well, wait, let them cook, see what's up here. Um, I feel like Big Basin got ruined for me in Chicago at Radius in the same way where like as soon as you fly first class, like it's really tough to go back to coach, right?
sure.
Like I felt like they found something so crazy there at Radius,
I
and
can't
like
disagree.
it was just kind of left on the table a little bit. And this being the longest track on the album, I felt like they could have possibly taking the time to add that extra section that they seem to have put together, whether that was by the seat of their pants or whether they planned for it in Radius. So Big Basin 6, Presence of Light 5 for me. Um, yeah, I think it's great. I think it's improved. I think I actually really prefer it with the poem that it's engraved on the Statue of Liberty. I really like that message around it. So to see that stripped from it is probably the reason that it's a little bit lower on my list here.
So
Number
you like the sample on that one?
I do. I do. I enjoy it. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool message, especially in today's day and age, right? Where
Sure.
a lot of crazy shit happening for immigrants and stuff like that. But um, number four for me was Never Never. I think kind of the same sentiment as you. I really, really like this song, and from the legs it's grown from the first time we heard it at the Ravine for Rave Spell is super impressive. But I really enjoy live the back end kind of modular galloping part of it, which we don't hear on the studio version. And then three for me, for the same for you, Menacer. Um, man, the chopped up like uh whatever hip hop sample it is in there, like the
Yeah, it's Armani. It's definitely Armani.
yeah, which it used to it's been in so many different places in the live setting and like I'd almost forgot about it when I first listened through it and then to see like the spot where they glitched it up and chopped it up and put it in there in the back half, I thought was masterful and got me going for sure. Number two for me was Lift You Up, man. Uh there's a couple of songs on this album that feature recorded strings, right? In this one and in Like I Do, it says it's Matt Combs on strings on Like I Do and Lift You Up. And the little added strings in the intro of it, like I've been on a big like Justice and French House kick personally, where that all that music heavily features strings and violins and everything like that. So I really enjoyed that. And then one for me is Reminisce. I mean, it's just yeah, it's reminiscent, like I said, of that like late 2000s like Jamtronica just being birthed sound and groove, and really excited to see where it goes from here. So that's our top six of the new slate here. So we're gonna go do it as promised here. A really fun exercise where we're gonna take you down the entire track list and spend some time featuring some of our favorite live moments from these songs. I think a really unique thing about this album is it features mostly songs that have been pretty heavy in rotation. I have almost kind of gained the status as staple already in the past 7+ years or something like that, right? And there's a few versions we haven't got to, which I think personally are goated. And I think what that's going to demonstrate is like how big of a role these songs are already playing in the live catalog, which is completely unique to any other release from STS9, which is really cool. So, Scotty, starting us off here, what is our opening track here for Human Dream?
Our opening track here, I could not think of a better one, is Glass. Um, and I went, I actually, right before we started the podcast, I went through and I kind of ranked everything out of 10. If it, I'm happy to share mine. I know you didn't do that, but, why not while we're talking about it? And to me, I think everyone knows how we feel about this one. This is a fucking 10 out of 10, dude. Um, Great opening song. You labeled it the most studio ready STS9 song ever, to be played live first. And who could argue with you, man? This sounds wonderful. Thoughts on Glass?
Yeah, I mean it's such a banger. It was the first release out of the first EP, and I think for a reason, it's something they feel really good about. It's something that we got them to talk about on our interview with them, where they played it live and they saw the crowd reaction to it, and they're like, "Okay, all right, we got something there." Right.
Right.
So, for this is one of them. We've got about 7 clips to share from these different songs of some of Pod Podular's personal favorites in terms of live versions. and we're gonna go to one that me and Scotty were together at. I think we might have been together for a lot of these actually, but we're gonna go back to the Mish in
Nice.
2023 for this class here.
Fuck yeah.
Boy, oh boy. What a night.
Yo, this show is really good, dude. Like, really fucking good.
September 16th, 2023. This was night one, correct?
Two. Night
Night
two,
two.
right?
Night two. Yep. Oh man. Really what Wilder, really what a little brain Wicca. Nasty Wicca there. Meta meme this us into Grizzly into modular. Grizzly into modular has
That
been
we played that. That was one of my bullets on a Waves Fell episode. That thing is disgusting.
set to beyond right now. Days out of time into modular guys. So good. Kamwai evasive. So backwards evasive Kamwai there. Nasty evasive modular jam. Elevators into squares and cubes. Good God. And then the fattest glass ever. This is the was the longest glass to date and still remains the longest glass to date. I remember since the first time we heard glass, I was like, I cannot wait for fat glass. And,
That is fat. That is bulletproof glass.
really sick modular jam. Hunter Brown absolutely fucking clowning. Zach maintaining that fucking groove that is unmistakable. Where some of those modular jams really escape the original ethos of the song, but this one stays heavily rooted in it, but still takes you on a fucking journey.
Also, Jabez encore of that on that show too.
Jabez encore, very proper, very proper. So making our way down this track list of the album here, got Like I Do next, and man, Scotty, was it even a question of which Like I Do we're gonna go back to with this one?
No way. You know,
Okay.
Mama always said nothing ever bad happens east of the sun.
I love that. I love
Um,
that. Never heard
man,
that one.
Mama didn't say that. I just made that up, but it sounds like something Mama would say. This night, man, I've told this story every time this night comes up. But me and my wife were fresh as fuck. We came straight from a wedding that I was in, to attend this. This Worry No More Enceladus Untitled Worry No More for my money is the best moment of this weekend. Close second is this Like I Do in the same show. Uh, what can you say about this shit, man? This is just as good as good of playing as you'll ever hear from this band. I mean, it's instrumental, it's funky, it's oh god damn, dude. I just had this crystal clear image of my wife in this beautiful fucking dress and me in this tuxedo with my shirt open on the balcony during this God, just like peak feel good vibes, man. I love this Like I Do.
It just reeks of fun, dude. It's just
Yeah.
so much fun. It's so energetic. Yeah, this is June 4th, 2022. As Scotty mentioned, the East of the Sun in Atlanta, Georgia at the Eastern. Um, yeah, I mean this version gives me vibes of Hidden Hand, Hidden Fist, Red Rocks 2015. Just like
Yes. Wow. Yes.
so much fun being had on stage. A goated version that is really yet to be kind of like step toward. I mean, on its own at least, right? I mean, the shock doctrine, like I did from Dylan, is incredible, out of this world mashup
Sure.
fuckery. But like this standing on its own is really incredible, and yeah, it's moments like these that make me not surprised that it's the second song on the album here. So I mean, we're 2 tracks in and we're feeling pretty damn good about this. So
I'm going 7.5 out of 10 on this one. As far as my ranking for the song. Like the song a lot, super solid, great versions of it. Studio version doesn't really touch any of my favorite live versions of it, and so for that reason I give it a little lower than some of the other songs, but I love this song.
that's fair. That's fair. I'm partial to it because of the strings on the album version, but
Sure.
no, I think it's hard to encapsulate what's going on in 5 minutes and 30 seconds with this track. But yeah, making our way down the line, another heavy
Strange James.
hitter. Yep. So we're going to Red Rocks 2024 with this one.
Come on, dude.
Man, uh, the way that Shock Doctrine tease comes to be and like cuts through on this one is really what does it for me.
Every time he plays that riff, it's like he's trying to steal your girlfriend.
He's pleading. He's like, "Come on."
It's like, come on, is it your girlfriend? Like, is it? Are you sure? I don't
Our
know.
girlfriend.
And you're like, no, I'm not
Uh,
sure. Actually, you're right.
yeah. I think I'm your girlfriend, HB. Um, dude, I mean, this one visually too, just with one of Tiberius's final shows with Chandler on the lasers. This light rig, the end of a four set show, this being the encore, speaks to how they feel about this song. And this song being the first on the album that was played live, correct? I believe so.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Bonnaroo 2018, if I'm right,
Right.
or 2019. Um, so I mean, there are countless versions, but I mean, this one really stands out as I think the crowning achievement of live Strange Games was this one right here. I think it's something that I think a um, honorable mention is the Ride Out versions that they did. You being a hip hop head, I know you're a big fan of those.
Oh yeah. They did that. They did that one a year previous at Red Rocks too, with that version, right?
Yes. That might have been pre-COVID, actually. That might have been the Push the Sky run 2018 or something like that. But that's the one I go back to most frequently for sure. That Strange Games right. I'd love to see that come back as well. But
Yeah.
uh,
Um, yeah, and as far as this one goes on the album, man, I think when I first heard the studio version and heard the Outkast samples were gone, being given the context of it later, of course it makes sense. I mean, especially with those guys knowing that they're going in the Hall of Fame. I mean, that sample's not just being given out to anybody. Um, the studio version of it, I no longer miss the Outkast samples. It's really well done. I drove around today, blasted my speakers as loud as possible and really tried to be inside of this album. And I found myself really, really appreciating what they did with Strange Games. While we're on the topic, shout out to Brad. What a job he did on this one, making sure that each band member had their own little lane to shine. We
Yeah,
are
I think Jeffrey really shines on the album version of this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. We are so lucky to have Brad as kind of a part of that team. He just has amazing ears, and every single song on this album is wonderfully mixed and mastered, and that's just a testament to him and how talented he is, kind of behind the scenes. And I think Strange Games is a great example of it. I've got it at an 8 out of 10 on my ratings.
Oh yeah. Well, I think how we have 7 clips, and our first 3 are the first 3 on the album, right?
Sure.
So that speaks to the start of this album, how they could bring a punch to start off. And I mean the ones that we're not going to share clips from, or maybe because we feel like we've already shared that greatest moment so far, at least with these songs. So coming up on Your Infinity, I
Yeah.
mean. It's yeah. It's at this point, it's going to be the next Year Infinity is the best one, right?
Sure. I mean, and or maybe not because Dylan was exceptional, and
True, true. But you're not
I
gonna
that
you're not gonna
what
tell me
we
that
played that.
version. Yes, we did, and that's what made Will want to come on the pod. But like, man, it's got me thinking that version that's gonna happen at Chicago on midnight is gonna be something otherworldly
Yeah.
for New Year's Eve, having it be the title of the run. But um, yeah, Your Infinity. Yeah, if we played it so recently, I would play it again. But there's no question that version from Dylan is life changing, as you put it. So
Yeah. And the studio version is great too. I've got it at an 8 out of 10 on my ratings. I love this song. I think it's kind of already a staple. Seed was a staple, and the Year Infinity has only grown the what this song can do in a set list. So, nothing
yeah,
bad to say about it.
when I think of that song, now I think of the second half. I don't think of that seed
Yeah,
intro anymore. That's
the
really what
climb.
sticks out to me about it. And like, yeah, you can really look at that as some brand new, spanking new STS9 there, which is good shit. Shaky ground, man. I again going back to Radius. I don't know if we've gotten a better one since that one, right?
Yeah, I agree. No clip here. It got it a 6.5 out of 10. Not my favorite song in the album. I don't dislike it. But and I like what it brings to the album because I think it's kind of a section that, and we've said this before, that just you haven't seen a whole lot in the studio version of this band.
Mhm.
So I love what it provides, but obviously not my favorite on the album. Then we've got "It's All Right," which do we have? Are we clipping in "It's All Right" tonight?
We are not,
Oh,
because
we're
I
not.
think the album version of It's Alright is the best out version
It's
so far. It's just that kind of track where like receiving that studio mixing treatment is it's ear candy, honestly. And I kind of look at it as kind of a part of a suite. One thing I was a little bit um surprised by is that, like I do, It's All Right, and then Life's a Symphony and Unity, It's All Right, we're not 3 together. I kind of look at that as the final form of those 3 songs, and kind of that, we'll call it the All Right suite. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to hear your rating on this studio version.
Um, I've got it a 7.5 out of 10. Really like this song, but kind of similar to "Like I Do." I think the studio version of it is great, but to me it doesn't really speak to the same way this song makes me feel live. I did have a cool thought about "It's All Right." Um, what if each section at the end, when they kind of walk away and bring it back, was a completely different type of music? Like they, they,
Hit you with a
they,
drum and bass drop, then
yes,
they hit,
boom,
yeah,
come
yeah.
back, boom, funk drop, boom, come back, like tearjerker
Rock
shit.
drop, yeah.
Right,
Funk drop, yeah.
right. Um,
Okay, that's a
I thought,
really cool idea. I love
yeah,
that.
I thought that'd be
Uh,
sick. I love this song. They're just some songs that shine brighter than it on the album, including the song that is that that follows it directly, which is "Life is a Symphony in Unity." It's all right.
Yep. So we get our taste of Maureen Murphy here during this track. And speaking of, I think best live moment. It's hard to top live with Maureen Murphy in Nashville, but man, do they really make you try to forget that every time they've been playing this song too? Like,
Yeah, I mean, this song is amazing. I think it's the best song with Marine on it. We have said ad nauseum that it sounds like they've been playing it for 10 years, and it might be the youngest song on the album.
hmm It's one
And
of them, yeah, for sure.
boy, did they kick the fucking hinges off of this one on the first one with her, and then have only elevated it a little bit every single time since. We joke behind the scenes of every single show that this song is played that this could be a clip.
Yeah.
It just a wonderful song, really good studio version, really fun live version. I've got an 8.5 out of 10 on my ratings. It's one of my favorite songs on the album.
It's a big score. It's a big score. I think it's
I know
deserved.
some people would be mad at me for that. Fuck off. That to me, this is everything I love about the band. It's them using all of their weapons. I love it.
Love it. And then we get into Big Basin, the longest track on the record here, clocking in at 7 minutes and 38 seconds. Again, that gold standard for this song for me has to be the Radius version from 2024 in Chicago. I
Yep.
think of Camp Elsewhere version as well. A lot of those modular versions, but like just a Zach Velmer masterclass on like jazz drumming. Like it's almost like they came back from COVID and they had this new um, gear that they could shift into with this kind of song. And I think it's a song that means a lot to the band. I know Brad talked about it being something that means a lot to him as well as from the area of the country of where they experienced one of the biggest tragedies of their lives as well in the Santa Cruz area and Big Basin. So I know it's a really special track for them as well. And again, I think we've yet to see the full live capability of what this is going to look like, and the fact that it is on the album, I think we expect it to be on the album, is going to have us be in store for some big live versions.
Yeah, 7.5 out of 10 for me. Super solid song. The studio version really great, but I'm with you, man. When I want to listen to Big Bass and I go straight to Radius. They fucking played the heavens from the sky on this song.
Blessed,
Yeah,
blessed, unreal.
absolutely. And so yeah, this song is awesome live. Studio version is super solid. Again, kind of right there in the middle of where I would rank all of these songs from best to worst. But yeah, glad it's on the album, and like you said, I was definitely expecting it to be. Then we get to Reminisce, which we obviously don't have a version of because this is the solo song that we had not heard some version of at this point.
I'm gonna make
Woo!
one prediction here, Scotty.
Go
This
ahead.
song is gonna open a show, one of the shows
I can see that.
in LA. Yeah, I see it as a great
Okay.
opener. Yeah.
Or open a set, maybe not, maybe, if not the show, but I can see that. Um, Man, this song is awesome. We talked about it at the beginning. We don't have to give it too much time now, but 9 out of 10 for me on the rankings. Instantly a song that I want to hear them fuck around with, and when the song's really good, you start figuring out what songs that they could play with it. And
Yep.
I feel like that's right where my head went with this one. I love this song, and I can't wait to see what the 6 to 8 minute version of it sounds like.
Yes, sir. All right, back to clips with Lift You Up here. This is going to be our longest clip. There's no other way to do it, honestly. This is going to feature what I think we both feel like is one of the specialist moments of this band post-COVID. Uh,
I mean,
Scotty, do you remember this? I mean, like,
as clearly as I remember the birth of my own child.
I feel
Um,
watching human birth. Like, it was like,
I will never ever forget who I was around, the pop that we collectively had. I mean, like one of those on the sidelines when a college hooper or NBA hooper hits a big three and the whole bench holds themselves up like this. That was what we were doing. That's
yeah.
exactly what we were doing, dude. Um,
You were lifting me up.
yeah,
You know,
no, man,
yeah.
this night was everything. This was you see this band for 20 years to get one moment like that, you know.
Yeah,
I, I I struggled to find words to describe it.
it's tough. Yeah,
Me and Brandon did a whole series of set list boards that sold immediately because as soon as it happened, we knew that anyone that feels strongly about this band that was there. I mean, that was one of those moments where if you walked away and never saw them again, you could hang your hat high on that one for a
oh
long
yeah,
time.
yep. So July 23rd, 2022, Red Rocks. Yeah, that shit is burned on wood in my kitchen. That's
Yes, it is. You have one. I
I got
forgot
one of
about
those.
that.
So lift you up into HB Walks the Sky modular. Honestly, not a whole lot of modular going on here. A whole lot of piano
No,
playing, a whole lot of guitar playing. Again, just demonstrates the launching pad that is this song. That they could have chosen anything to come out of, to go into HB Walks with for the first time, and since it would have been Halloween 2015, right? A
yeah,
7 year bust out, and they use "Lift You Up" as the launching pad on it. So again, I think it's just the common theme here is like you look at what these tracks are stacked up against within the live setting, and it speaks to how they feel about it, and just how it's been
sure.
received too.
Sure.
So
That's a very good point. I mean, whatever whatever song they're gonna choose to seg into that one is obviously one they feel strongly about.
yeah,
If
it's like
nothing else.
your chef recommends a nice lift you up with this HP Walks. Enjoy.
Exactly. Real quick, we forgot to do this in the announcements, but we got a late night for aisle five after the Eastern with Lotus here in February, and it is a cool one. We've got Hive Mind featuring Alan from formerly of the Disco
Fucking
Biscuits.
go, Alan, dude. We were
Fucking
talking
go
about
Hive
Alan.
Mind,
Yeah,
man. They feel strongly about Alan in Costa Rica. That's all
yeah,
we'll
we
say. They're
we sure
sad.
did. They know all about it,
They
honestly.
do. It's crazy how well versed they are on the Disco Biscuits down there.
Yep.
But in all seriousness, aisle five, late night with Alan, Hive Mind. We love those guys. We plan on having some of those guys on eventually. David's a good friend. Shout out David Dollar. With special guest, two-time guest, DJ McNice. Looks like he dropped the DJ and he's just doing McNice right now. Our boy
Mm,
is crushing these shows lately. Daniel's
yeah.
all over the place. So pumped for Hive Mind, pumped for McNice, pumped for Alan to be a part of an amazing band that, maybe this is the beginning of something beautiful. Who knows?
Holy cow, dude. That would be a really, really nice thing coming out of
Could
what
you
has been
imagine?
a quite a raucous year in the jam band scene in 2025. So
Yeah.
that'd be a nice thing to come out of it for sure. Um, yeah. So that brings us to the next track here, Dusk, and we thought,
Yeah.
why not go back to the night where Dusk grew? You know,
Nathan, nothing in the world could convince me that Hunter Brown is not drunk on red wine in this clip. I could look Hunter Brown dead in his eye and he could tell me that he's not drunk on red wine in this clip, and I would call him a liar.
I'm
I would
not drunk. What are you talking about? No, you're
not
drunk.
not not real drunk, like a glass and a half to two of
Oh, it's
some really nice Napa. Just, so you start feeling warm and fuzzy and a little adventurous.
yeah,
Um,
adventurous.
that
Yeah.
that is that is the way he is playing on this dusk. It is too warm and fuzzy to not have some red wine just dripping in it, honestly.
Yeah, you know what Mama said about east of the sun. I think some bad things might happen west of the moon.
I don't know.
So,
Mama never talked about West of the Moon, so it might be. It might be like you see that over there. That's West of the Moon. We don't go over
yeah.
there.
Everything east that the light touches is yours. Um, dude, we haven't been back to Napa on the show yet. And what a great opportunity here. I mean, this is like I mentioned before the clip where like I was like, Dusky was like, okay, this is something cool after they debuted it at Red Rocks a few months before that. But like after this version, I was like, yo, what the fuck do they have cooking here?
Yeah.
Um, just a really good range of like all of their sounds when it comes to like huge piano crescendos, like hip hop inspired guitar licks, down to a pin drop, like percussion endings here. Zach and Jeffrey going absolutely insane near the peak of this one. Yeah, October 8th, 2021, west of the moon in Napa, California. Um, I honestly, going back to the album, this might be my favorite studio recording out of the 19 songs.
It's top three for me, 10 out of 10. One of this is one of the nastiest little tricks that Soundtribe has up their sleeve immediately. We laughed about it with them. It's dark, it's scary. It serves so many purposes, and it truly is unlike anything that they've ever put on wax. And so, don't have I could not say enough nice things about Dusk. It's a 10 out of 10 for me, and I love it.
Yep,
Um,
gets the senses up, as Hunter says. Something
yep.
feels not quite right. Like,
Right, right. And then we've got Home Park Interlude, which is,
yeah,
essentially
I'd say
kind
we
of.
could look at the next two tracks as one track, right? Home
Yeah,
Park.
that's I don't have a rating for Home Park Interlude because it's kind of the intro for Peachtree. And fuck, we love Peachtree, man. This song is great. This is another 10 out of 10 for me. Little hat tilt to my neck of the woods, and obviously a lot of the band's neck of the woods. And this song is great. I haven't seen a single person say a bad thing about Peachtree yet.
No, and just the live debut of how it happened, right? Peachtree and Ramon, hours after it had been debuted, everyone waiting to hear it. You can't pull off a live debut for a song much better than that. But Walk the Sky, I think back. So I mean, cool thing about this, right, is featuring Alana on vocals on this. This is the drum and bass crowning achievement of this album. Um, I loved it from the first time I heard it. I love the samples. I think back to that Nashville 2023 version that we played on the show um, as the biggest live memory for me on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, any other of your thoughts on it?
I love this song. It fits very squarely into that DMB sector of what they do. I've got it 7.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I kind of going back and forth between those. I had actually forgotten about the Alana vocals on it. That makes me like it a little bit more. I forgot about that cool little nugget there. Yeah, I've always liked this song. I think the all of the Sky series songs are very, very strong. Yeah, and then we've got Never Never, which one of the songs we hadn't heard a studio version of. Wasn't sure if we were gonna get that because it was part of that rave spell, and we ended up getting a few rave spell songs on here. The studio version is cool to me. It's not my favorite thing. I've got it at 6.5 out of 10. Not necessarily one that I needed, but a solid offering, I guess.
Then we get balancing. I guess you could maybe consider balancing as maybe the first actual song played out of this. Balancing, obviously morphing from the Greenlight remix, right? We get some really cool vocals from Armani Rain on it here, which we might be hearing more about that in an episode to come. But yeah, I mean, a really cool hip hop song here. I think it helps to have like the lyric video with it because it was a little. It can be tough to like. He's ripping these bars off so quickly. It can be tough to hear what he's saying. So I
Yeah,
really enjoyed the lyric video aspect of this one.
it's also on Bandcamp. There's like a little thing next to it that says lyrics, and you can click on the track, and it'll pop down with the lyrics. So I thought that was cool, little cool feature on Bandcamp that I didn't know existed because obviously our band doesn't deal in lyrics a whole lot per se. But yeah, if you're listening on Bandcamp, there's a little option where you can read along too.
Yeah, I think back to that New Orleans version that we had played before as the best standalone balancing
Yeah.
from was it 2019. Recently, we've seen it segued into some really cool stuff with into Sky High, into Potamus this past calendar year. So yeah, I think it's cool. I don't think we were surprised to see it. Do you have a rating on it, Scotty?
Yeah, I've got it at 7.5 out of 10. Love this song for a while. It to me a 7.5 out of 10 is like a very solid song. I have no problems with it. We knew that it was going to be on there. It's not a like you said, it's the oldest of the songs that we have. Really like it. Just wasn't kind of amongst those the newer ones that kind of blew my hair back a little bit more. Um, like kind of like this next one actually. Minister. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show. I've got this at an 8.5 out of 10. This studio offering is stellar. Um,
Studio offering is very stellar, and I tell you what, man, I've been waiting to unleash this live version from Apollo Tour on it. So before we get too deep into it, let's dive into this one. I mean, atmospheric STS9. It's,
I completely forgot about that. Um, what a tour! What a tour that nobody talks about, except for us because we can't shut the fuck up about 2019. But um, that
uh,
if you keep digging, you're just gonna keep finding shit like that. What a fine partner. Talk about it.
yeah, September 25th, 2019 from the National in Richmond, Virginia. Um, do you remember like when they were playing like China Cat during Menacer and shit like that?
Yes.
It's this song has gone through so many like phases and reworks, and from the moment it was debuted in Kansas City is kind of like an in your face track, right? To when
Yeah.
we kind of heard the new version of it at Red Rocks in
Almost, almost,
2021.
almost heavy metal STS9 when it started.
Right, to shit like this, where it's just like soaring guitar, bouncy modular, incredible soundscapes by Phipps. Um, yeah, I when honestly, but when I think the Menacer, I think this kind of stuff, like of just like them providing Hunter Brown with all of the space he needs to just launch you into the stratosphere, and get you swaying back and forth and just telling him to finish me. Mortal Kombat style, dude. Like, man, yeah, Apollo Tour. There's a lot of good nuggets in there, but I thought when I think of Menacer live, I go back to this one. So.
Absolutely. I don't remember if I said my rating on this one yet, but I've got it at 8.5 out of 10. One of my favorite tracks on the album, one of my favorite studio versions of the live stuff that we've heard. This shit is great, just great, top to bottom. Well done, guys. Well done.
Then we get to Portal to the Starry Path, another kind of the a group of the newer patch of songs here on here. Yeah, I mean, you think you like this one, and then you see it live, but I mean, we're talking about the studio version here, man. And you got an opportunity to see it live finally back in the Colorado run, and I was super pumped about it. Like you had mentioned before with Reminisce, like just that smoky jazz club, like ethereal STS9,
Yeah,
which
it's a side of the band that we know they love, but we don't always see that version of them.
mm,
And I think on this, it's just it really fun to see something on the studio that the casual person that hasn't listened to a lot of STS9 is going to come across and go, oh wow, I didn't know they had this in their pocket too. Um,
right.
just a great example of the diversity of this band.
And then we finish things up with Presence of Light, and we've got one more clip here to share in terms of just, well, again, live highlights of this group of 19 songs here.
Liberty. I am the living symbol of all women, creeds, and races. I am the hopes and dreams of all mankind. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be
What do you think now, Scotty?
I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I can't believe the 180 that I've done on this song. The studio version just ties it up in a nice little bow. This was my favorite version of it before the studio version. I like the studio version more than this.
Yeah.
This was a really cool, special way that they did it. At the Roxy, at the Just Thanks run. I'm obsessed with this version of Presence of Light into Baraka, but man, the studio version is some of the most special magic that they've ever captured, particularly with Alana.
Yeah. No, I think so too. And I mean, just to kind of put the vocal sample to bed, I figured we have a little bit of poetry time here on Pod Podular and
Okay.
read you this poem that sits at the base of the Statue of Liberty. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with concrete limbs astride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed sunset gate shall stand a mighty woman with a torch whose flame is the imprisoned lighting in her name, mother of exiles from her beacon hand. Close worldwide welcome, her mild eyes command, the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep ancient lands your storied pomp, cries she, with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So it's almost like with Strange Games, where it's like the symbolism of this song is still captured within the overall message of it, and to end the album with it, I think is somewhat of a message, but where they're wanting to provide that kind of musical message and hopefully provide that beacon into a brighter future. Um, so yeah, I think poetically, it's a great way to finish off this studio project. So
I like it. I like it. They don't give you what you want, they give you what you need. And I'm glad they gave me this Presence of Light.
no, for sure, I'm sure a lot of people were like, "What the helly?" When
Hmm.
they saw it on the track list, like,
And then they heard the studio version, they were like, "What's good?"
okay, yeah, oh, what's up? What up? Um, finishing thoughts on the album, Scotty.
Man, I think this is I'm really pumped on it. I hear the people that say, "Well, where are the new songs?" I I I still stand that this is a pretty common practice of bands. It's just you don't see bands go this long between albums often. And it's easy to forget how many great new songs they have just been sprinkling on us over the last 8 years or so. And, I'm glad that all these songs have found a place. I think that one of the common complaints about STS9 is that there's so many songs that ended up not finding a place and still have
Hmm.
not. And there's no versions of that for people to discover on streaming platforms. There's plenty of live versions, but a lot of people don't have Bandcamp. And so, for what each of these songs provides to kind of the context of what this band sounds like, I'm glad they're all on the album. I would put this album as a solid 8 out of 10 as far as STS9 is concerned. It's really good.
Hmm.
It's is it fucking Artifact? I guess not, but I don't want Artifact. I want them to keep striving for something new and whatever's tickling their fancy creatively, because that's when bands stop doing that, they stop making music, and we don't want that. We want them to challenge themselves creatively 30 years into their career, because that's really cool, and that's what keeps you kind of coming back for more. So I think this is like a B+ album as far as I'm concerned. I'm pumped on it. A lot more songs that I like than I don't like, and that's really hard to do with 19 songs. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Finishing thoughts for you.
Yeah, I'll go with superlatives here. It is the best and most comprehensive look into what the band currently sounds like out of
Sure.
any other album. Um, I think it's going to age extremely well. I think what people need to do is when they have the time is listen to it from 1 to 19 and listen to the journey, right? But it's not necessarily like they talked about with us. It's not a concept album. It's not a project album, right? It's just kind of a representation of where they're at in their career. And like, I mean, you get a little bit of taste of everything here. You get a little bit of taste of stuff that you're familiar with. You get a little bit of stuff, taste of the stuff that's going to grow on you. And you get a little bit of taste of stuff that is that they're staples and what makes their catalog great. So I'm really excited to see how it ages, how these songs continue to grow within the live catalog, because at the end of the day, that's why we're here, right?
Mhm.
So we'll see, man. With a lot of these songs, it's gonna be kind of a wait and see in a good way and an exciting way to see kind of how a lot of this unfolds. But proud of them, pumped on them. I know they're stoked on it, and I mean, at the end of the day, you can't argue that it sounds fucking awesome.
Yes, it
Like,
does. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to Marine and the band and Brad and everyone else who's been associated with this project. Taylor, Houston Morgan. We know how much effort has gone into this rollout. It must feel like a breath of fresh air just to be landing it in LA and then on to the next creative venture, whatever that looks like. They always have something up their sleeve, and we know how much effort has gone into this year. And like you said, really proud of them. Congratulations to STS9 on a really great rollout. We're really really proud of you guys.
yes, sir.
On that note, though, it's crazy because there are more songs, more new songs that did not make this album, Nate, and you wanted to come up with kind of a potential B-side type situation of songs that didn't make the album that you'd like to maybe see on another album or down the road a studio version. I went first on my ranking of the new songs, new studio songs, so you go first on this one.
Yeah, really Arrowhead is a big one. I would have loved to hear for sure.
Sure.
That is probably the biggest one that I might have been expecting here that I didn't. Um, so I would say Arrowhead, and then I mean, really the only other one I could think of was, I mean, along with the theme of seeing quite a few of these Racewell songs stick in is Feel It, right? But I mean, I think that kind of makes sense. Is Feel It is kind of an offshoot of Globally.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess the only other thing I'd be looking to hear is maybe two or three other new songs, right? But like, at the end of the day, are they going to stop making no new music? No, right?
Right.
So it's not like we're not going to continue to get new, fresh shit from them that we haven't heard. So
I,
those are
I've
my
got,
thoughts on it.
yeah, I've got a few too. G Funk, I would have liked to
Yeah,
see an
you're
honest
right.
studio version of that. I know that started off as kind of an improv a la the early '90s West Coast production, Warren G type production. That is their song now, and I hopefully there is a studio version coming of that. That Untitled song from Red Rocks that we
Yes.
compared to kind of a Fred again inspiration type deal.
Yeah.
Um,
Galactic Spin Class.
Yes, Galactic Spin Class. That's right. Would have liked to have seen that one. I guess there's still a chance that is called Galactic Spin Class.
Yeah, we'll
So
see.
would have liked to see that. As far as songs that maybe are not unique to the Alana era, but she certainly had a big hand in this song. And knowing what we know about them owning everything now, I would have liked to seen a studio interpretation of Vapors.
Yeah,
Would
would
have
have been
been really
fun
cool for
for
this
sure.
one. I also had Arrowhead on my list. And one that I would almost guarantee is sample related is Sky High.
Yup, damn it. Yeah, I was
Would
thinking of
have
that one too.
been
Yeah.
would have been great, and I don't know if they're not trying to get that Goody Mob blessing, and whatever that situation ends up being with that song. I think that their interpretation of that sample and kind of what they've done around it is really really true to what that song is, and
I hope they get the opportunity to get a swing at that one in the studio too. So those are my five.
Great point. Great point. Well, Scotty, this has been fun. This is a really fun exercise. Of
Yeah,
we did it with Artifact. We've done it with the Human Dream. We'll have to go back to the other albums and just go through the standouts of live
sure.
highlights with these tracks. I think this is really cool. But yeah, next on the docket are these LA shows, man. We're gonna have our hands full, I'm sure, with the with the recap of these shows next week. Hopefully, with some boots on the ground. We don't have plans for it yet, so if you're listening to this and you're thinking, "Hey, I'd love to come on and break down these shows with the boys," let us know. It is up on IG.
Yeah.
It is up on Instagram. If you have our number, text us. So the door's open. But other than that. Me and Scotty will be there in spirit. Cannot wait to see what comes out of these shows. I think it's gonna be a lot of exciting, unheard stuff. But no, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe, throw us a comment or review if you're feeling nice. Other than that, have a great weekend in LA. Chess Pats. Much love.
Much love.